Good morning. I know some of you have been wondering where I am. Um, I'm out here, just been busy with a lot of stuff. Good morning, Sonia. How are you? Hope you're having safe travels. Hey, Rob on the road. What's going on, Mr. Rob? This is cardboard, basically the back of a watercolor palette. What's that word again? Some- It's basically the back of a notebook. This is just a house painting brush. And I'm not going to get carried away with really covering it much. I have no music for some reason. Yeah, she's been playing with geese. Yeah, she probably shouldn't do that. Good way to get boo boos. I got some pretty dry paint sitting here. Let's add some red. I don't know. Let's put something down here. Maybe a touch of orange. Got some dry paint. It's been sitting here for a couple weeks. I mean, we're talking some compy stuff. Unscrew it itself. Mary DJ is on her way to Michigan, I believe. I think. I'm guessing. I'm gonna add just a tiny touch of black. Just gonna make that color kind of a deeper something. I don't know. I have no preconceived idea what I'm gonna do today. I'm just putting these colors in because I feel like it. Grab a tiny touch of the green. I think we'll just kind of move them up here. Looks like there's a tree. We'll rinse that brush off. I haven't been on for quite a while. Probably over a couple months, I think, almost. I don't really remember the last time I was on. I know my paint has been sitting here on my wet palette for that long, and well, they keep stuff wet for a little while, but not forever. Let's grab some white now. I mean, some white. Let's grab some white that looks an awful lot like yellow. I've been trying to get my music to play, but well, it doesn't feel like it. So why argue with it? It'd be nice because I like music when I paint, but you know, apparently my connection not allowed to use it. I don't know what's going on, why it's not. Since I no longer have the paid program for this particular service I use, it seems like having it work right is pretty rare. Did you break your camera? In order for people to understand what I'm talking about, yeah, I would have to actually go ahead and read the chat that's going on as we speak. This is live when I paint. Well, I think I'm live. Well, I'm something. Let's bring that down just a little bit in here, maybe that side. Go something like that and pull it up. Sure. Now everybody's, talking to people and they're like, well, do you paint those little trees and stuff, the ones that are happy? And I said, nope, I paint grumpy ones. I like grumpy little trees. They'd rather just hang out and be alone instead of being bothered by people. Let's just bring that way. Strange enough that I now have a piece of artwork. I don't know. Let's tap something in here. Sitting on the freezer door where I work now. Ooh, how about some hints? I'm thinking painting is a good idea if you bought paints. I'm just throwing that out there. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Kind of feels different for me. I paint a lot of the same shapes a lot. Let's use that as a good base. I don't know where I'm going with it, but let's figure it out together. Let's grab a little sparkle of orange and red. Maybe we'll throw some of that down in here. Just because we feel like it. I'll bring it right in here like this too. I'm going to go back into my white just a little bit into the black. Let's make a little gray, something like right in here. We'll wipe some of that off. Bring that right up like that, something. I did catch you and Sonia painting the other night. I don't know, a while ago. I don't know exactly when it was, but it was cool to watch. Bring that right in there. I like the drawing. It was pretty impressive. So, probably didn't have the right flavor. Something like that. And let's kind of put that bottom down there like that. So it's still there, but it's, not there type of deal. It is a very dark picture today, isn't it? Well, we'll have to do something about bringing that up a little bit. Let's rinse off this a little bit. I'm just going to use this brush today. It's just a 1 inch. Like doing the edge of a wall. It's really for edging, but yeah, it's okay. What do we got here? I think we have something right in here. Let's just bring that right in there like that. Just the background stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of construction here too. 17 is super nasty. Exit 17 here on the interstate is super bad. Sue and I got stuck in it the other day with Nick, and we sat for like an hour. And I'll bring that right up in there. Yeah. Something like, right there. A couple of these too. Go with a little dark. Kind of off my painting game, so these may not be exactly great, but that's okay. It's a piece of cardboard, Can't argue with it too much. Just grab a little bit of the light green, a little bit of water. It's pretty wet, but that's okay. Let's bring a little bit right in here. Sure. Bring that right in there. I haven't thought much about YouTube lately. I've just work and work and work, and probably too much work. But I like to work. I like the people I work with. Most of them, anyway. Yeah, like any place, there's a few that drive me nuts. The woman who does the floral department, she's quite an artistic person, and she creates some really beautiful arrangements of stuff, and then that stuff impresses me because it's such a talent. And my grandmother taught me how to do that stuff, but it's not something that I can just look at something and readily just do it. She kind of just creates these things. It's a serious skill. I can put paint on things, but it's not anything I can't teach people to do. Or at least guide them. Maybe I'm not teaching them per se as much as I'm motivating them to try. All right, let's go with a little bit of dark. I'd love to get some blue, but that blue is pretty rock solid, so I'm going to add just a tiny touch of black right in there. And we're just going to knock these down because that color came out really bright. Let's put something right in here. I'm just going to kind of, I want it there, but I don't want it there, Rob, are you a politician? Just checking, because that was a politically correct statement if I ever heard one. That's your way of saying you kind of either elected or you didn't. That's the way I am. If I don't care for something somebody's doing, I tend to not say anything. Let's just try this. I don't know if this is going to work with this big brush. This big. And just bring that down like that. I go punch a couple over here. Yeah, that's the way I look at stuff. Is sometimes the effort is actually what drives me to maybe appreciate a piece. I don't necessarily have to like pieces of everything. You can definitely appreciate when somebody puts some time and effort into something. It's nice. Let's bring that right in there. Even if we don't always understand it. Just bring a little bit of that out there like that. Something like that. I'm going to go back into this green, bit of dark. And I'm going to kind of put a little dark side on this over here. Now let's go ahead and take the black and tiny touch of blue, I think. Yeah, let's go with red because apparently blue isn't going to come out. We'll add that to the green. A little bit of a red tint to it. Just right in here. I know you're like, I can't see anything right in there. I know. It's starting to really curve on me, so I have to be really careful. Grab my green, lock that down just a tiny bit. And we'll just bring a little bit of green in there right here. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. Kind of very out of practice. And I'll bring that right down in there like that. Rinse off my brush so I have a little bit less paint on it. See if we can do this without. Let's pick that. I'll go like there. Something to that effect. Bring that right up in there. Pop some bright green in it. Just on the edge. A little bit right in here, maybe a little something about that. Background tree. Oops, that one kind of got its own little design going. I'll have to take some of those speckles out of there because it's going to drive me crazy. And I'm going to rinse my brush off. Try to swipe some of this a little bit of brown water here and put it through my blue. A little bit of white, sure. Go back into the darker color. Yeah, just put a little something right up in this edge. Because we want it there, but I don't really want it there. Bright green, a little bit heavy on the green. That's okay. I'm just going to maybe a little something right here. Kind of distract your eye a little bit from that. I'm just going to bring that over that way. Thank you. I could take the, kind of get it washed out a little bit. I'll tilt it this way just for a second so you guys can see that there's quite a bit of other color than the stuff that's kind of getting washed out up here. I like that enough. It's not super crazy. It's pretty simplistic type of painting. It's on a piece of cardboard, so it was just something fun to kind of play with. And we could take the, well, we did say we were going to use this. So let's maybe something like there. And Just gonna use the handle. Now I'm gonna add just a tiny bit more, a little more brightness right up in here. A little bit right in there, a little bit right in here. Just get him down, a couple on the top over here, maybe. Maybe there's a tree right here. It's got a little bit of brightness showing on it. And I gotta knock that down just a little bit because it's a little carried away. Maybe a little bit on that one. Right over here. We'll go something like that. It's probably too bright. That's okay. We'll just kind of mute it just a hair. I didn't say anything about not using my hands. I just said I was going to use one brush. And it's because we know that's there. Yeah, we know that everything's kind of coming this way. Let's bring just a tiny bit of brightness up in this. That was nice of him. Bring that down there. I'm gonna darken that up in there. See, there's some people out there. Yeah, bring that down there. A little darker in there. A little darkness down in there too. Okay. That's about what I have. I don't really want it to go flopping over on me. But not horrendous. My lights are terrible. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't spend a lot of time down here. I'm working too much. Winter's coming up here, so gonna have to pay attention. The only thing I can do is autograph it. Thank you. No, but it's because you live where you live. No offense, but there. This time I actually have to clean up my mess because if I let it dry this time, it's starting to make stuff smell like rotten old paint. So we'll take that off. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed it. Sonia, safe travels. I'm glad you got your stuff fixed or getting parts to fix it. Um, I know it's a pretty simplistic painting, but sometimes just kind of escaping into the woods is a good thing. I'd love to be able to find a little path like that. But thank you. I hope you have safe travels and I hope everything's going well. Other than the few issues you have, could be worse. Nope, not going to say it because I don't want to jinx you. But you know, you know as well as I do because you've been here before how much it can cost sometimes for you, especially when you have to replace everything. But thank you all. Please enjoy yourselves. We'll see you again soon. And yes, I'm still out here. Yes, I'll try to get back, and I'll try not to be a stranger. Be well. Take care.